Okay, this is a continuation video of my journey to motherhood. So we're going to start with second trimester story here. So second trimester was exciting due to the fact that I started to look pregnant. By 26 weeks, I was feeling very pregnant and I gained weight very slowly. I became a little preoccupied though with the weight gain at one point, worrying I had not gained enough weight. At one OBGYN appointment, I cheered out loud when I gained weight. This assistant said with surprise, "You're the first person I've ever heard celebrating weight gain." But by the end, I gained a modest 29 pounds. Now, side note, my mother had gained 80 pounds with each pregnancy, and I don't know how she did it. I just don't, because I had so many aches and pains, and she gained 80 and I gained 29. Oh my goodness, right? In the second trimester, one of the big woes I experienced was an odd rash. So it just gets more crazy from here, just warning you. Not one healthcare professional could tell me what it was. The rash was red, angry, blotchy, and itched like there was no tomorrow. The itching caused insomnia many nights. I had ice packs all over my lower body at night, trying to find relief. I suggested to the OBGYN it was PUP. That's PUPP. It's Paritic Urticarial Papules and Plaques of Pregnancy. So, the strange thing is that no one agreed that it was a pup rash, which is a strange allergic reaction to fetal cells. Usually it happens when a woman is pregnant with multiples, and it's more towards the end of your pregnancy. And I think it is more common with a boy, I read as well. So they could not deny that it was PUPs either. I had researched pup rash and I found some good solutions to start with. So I washed in the shower each night with pine tar soap. I got at Sprouts Grandpa's pine tar soap. Thank the Lord I found a video of this wonderful woman who discussed the same issues I was going through. And she said that buy Grandpa's pine tar soap. Miracle that I'd found her video on YouTube, because it was affecting my life so severely. So I would let the Grandpa's pine tar soap sit on my skin, and then I would rinse it off. So I'd let it sit for like 10 minutes or so. And then I'd rub aloe vera all over my skin. And then I would do daily sunbathing. And then I would drink cherry juice. Yeah, because they said it was an antioxidant. So doing all that regimen, it eventually dissipated. But it was, the cost of that was me smelling, in the words of my husband, the pine tar soap smelled like an old campfire. So it made me smell like an old campfire. My most challenging period was the third trimester, which is usually between the period of 28 to 40 weeks of gestation. Spoiler alert, I carried for 42 and a half weeks. I know, that's crazy. So below, oh, no, I don't need to say that. So I put a picture in. I'm hoping maybe to do like a vlog as well of this. If I do a vlog, I'll put it in the description. So at 36 weeks, I was feeling quite huge at the time, but my mom assured me I was beautiful. I really didn't feel beautiful. During this period, my heart rate would dramatically rise. Sometimes when I was just standing, I was short of breath often and needed a shower chair towards the end of my pregnancy. And these changes in my health were a huge shock to me, because before the pregnancy, I was quite active and I exercised daily. The fact that I felt horrible fatigue all the time, dizziness, and I felt like fainting, they all plagued my outlook of pregnancy, to be honest. My mom had assured me throughout my life that pregnancy was a time to glow. And I also was under the impression that pregnancy was a simple part of a woman's life. This period, by far, was not simple. I began to look for a solution to my extreme hip pain and other symptoms with chiropractic work and acupuncture. So the chiropractor was an older gentleman that I saw who seemed confident in his skills. I was put face down on a special table with a cutout for my belly. Heat was applied to my back, which felt amazing. That was the most relaxing part of the treatment. He instructed me to roll to my side and forcefully push down on my leg and hip during the adjustment. Not only did this startle me because I wasn't expecting it, but it hurt. I was surprised that the first adjustment didn't seem to have any effect, but I came back for another adjustment and seemed to do the trick. It seems that pain is the name of the game of the last trimester. Well, at least for me. The acupuncturist needles were tiny compared to a needle for a blood draw. But don't let those tiny needles fool you, because the pain of my skin probably is made more sensitive, I guess, than other people's skin. But the pain from those tiny little needles were quite intense. The most intense prick was on my wrist. I felt very uncomfortable for my first treatment on the table, and I felt very air hungry. Instead of complaining, I just dealt with it, and I probably should not have done that. I was trying to do deep breathing techniques and visualizations. This didn't work for long. I then resorted to shifting my hips from side to side with immense air hunger. It did the trick. Time slipped away. An hour and a half went by without me noticing at all. I became enveloped in another world where time doesn't exist. It was strange. The acupuncturist treatment seemed to help with my constipation almost immediately. I struggled with that throughout my whole pregnancy. I also noticed the baby moving on my left side afterwards. So one of the goals of the treatment was to get the baby more center, because he had preferred the right side the whole pregnancy. So another time I received acupuncture after a traumatic time in the L&D department. So I went in through ER with extreme pain. I wasn't able to sleep for days, and my nights were afflicted with the incredible pain of prodromal labor. That's basically your body's attempt at practicing the strenuous feat called labor. After the July 19th nightmare in the local hospital, multiple blood draws, I was in extreme pain, and the nursing staff were too busy to do proper rounding, and the bathroom was absolutely disgusting, and there were poop stains all over the bathroom. It was a nightmare. So I sought the help of an acupuncturist once I came home. It was an intense experience, and I received small, painful electroshocks with electrodes on my skin. I tried to relax, but all I remember was the polite Asian man telling me that the pain was a part of life. Encouraged me to embrace the pain. Welcome pain, he instructed. And I tried with all the strength in my body to do just that. Okay, this is end of part 2.